6. Western victim Mark Blyton has outside of Warren Ferguson. On the outside by Lord Gunny reaches for the right shot. The AHG series and Payne gets a little taily off 4. Look at this.
With this memorable victory, it wasn't working for the Brit pack. 4 and the big guns were out as Thompson saw the Dane go down. Oh, towards the semis. See you next time.
Hi, great to have your company and welcome to this Checkered Flag special on Fox Sports. We're coming to you from the Pioneer Park Speedway at Ayr in beautiful North Queensland, and this is the running of the 2007 Australian Speedway Sidecar Championship. Beside me is rider and expert commentator Darren Cape. This will be a beauty.
Yes, David, beautiful weather up here in North Queensland. There's the young Moon crew there, all the juniors sitting on the bike. Moon definitely a favourite here, so we'll see what happens here at Brandon in North Queensland.
Earlier today I spoke to defending champions Darren Trelaw and Justin Plaisted.
I think so, David. Our preparation's been really well this year, and me and Justin are in fine form. We've got 2 beautiful motorbikes. It's a lovely venue. It's all good, so hopefully we can pull it off.
You've taken the sport to new levels of professionalism, which is something you should be very proud of.
Yeah, well, that's what I like to do. I like to put back into the sport, not just take it out of the sport. And I want to see the sport go further for all the young kids coming through. We've got juniors now, and so it's got a high profile. And I haven't got too many years left in me. I've been going for 20 years now, so if I can walk out and everyone knows I've done a good effort and tried to do my best to lift the sport, I'd be happy with that.
Congratulations and good luck tonight. Of course, Darren, the rider, will now speak to his very talented passenger, Justin Plaisted, who spent some time behind the handlebars himself. Do you prefer the rider or the passenger, Caper?
Well, I've obviously got a lot better as a passenger, haven't I? Me and Darren really work well as a team, and we're really looking forward to tonight. We come here to win, and so does the other teams, but we think we've got that edge by being prepared.
Despite the fact you hail from South Australia, you've turned a lot of laps around here.
Yeah, we do. We've been based up here this year with a bike, and we've had a container full of bikes here ready to go, and we come here every meeting, so we've dialed in, and the track is suited to our bikes, and we're ready to go.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
Darren Trelaw and Justin Plaisted, one of the heavyweight combinations contesting tonight's National Sidecar Championship. This will be an absolute beauty. Make sure you stay with us as we now check out the rider lineup taking part in the 2007 Rising Sun Honda National Sidecar Championship.
Yes, here's the rider lineup, and Darren, it is definitely a world-class field here tonight.
Brilliant field. We've actually got 3 out of the 4 of the world champions in this field. So Mick Hedlund at number 1 from South Australia will be certainly a gun to watch as well.
There's Trelaw riding with number 13 on his back. Of course, Scott Christopher and Trent Coppy are former national champions, and likewise Gary Moon too. So it is a star-studded field, there's no doubt about that. 16 teams in total, and they'll do battle over 20 qualifying heats. The top 4 teams at the completion of those 20 qualifiers go through to the grand final.
Well, Gary, you know what it's like to win national championships. How are you going to go about it tonight?
Oh, we're just going to go out there and go as hard as we can from the start, because every point tonight means a lot, and hopefully we can get enough just to scrape into that final, and at the final it's anyone's.
You've been in good form heading into this.
Yeah, we've been going all right, all the gears sorted out, we got our handling right, and passengers going good, everything's falling into place, and hopefully this year's going to be ours.
Yeah, Moon, he's got plenty of hometown support here in North Queensland. There's the starters for you in heat number 1, Headland and Waters in red, Firth and Fleming in blue, Moon and Dennis in white, and Gates in the yellow helmet colours. If you've not seen Speedway Sidecar racing before, we refer to colours to identify their helmet colours, not their leathers or their bikes per se. Tapes now fly in heat number 1, a 4-lap journey. Best to begin on the inside, the South Australian combination of Headland and Waters, and they clear out already, leading by about 5 metres. It's Firth and Fleming from Brisbane running in second. Not for long, however. Gary Moon moves up on the inside, the local charge, and we've got a problem with our leader flipping on the exit to turn number 4. Headland and Waters are gone.
Unbelievable. Mick Headland, an absolute brilliant start. He would have to be gutted with that.
Fortunately, both rider and passenger A-OK, so we come back to the starting tapes for a complete race rerun, with the inside alley vacant, and this time it's the Brisbaneite, Stuart Firth, over on the inside, who rode so brilliantly in the corresponding meeting last year at Gosford, almost won it in fact. Gary Moon, meantime, and his passenger, Dennis, slide by on the outside and take the lead.
Gosh, this is only the first heat, and the track's starting to rut up a little bit already. You notice there Gary Moon running the inside line, bikes running sort of one behind the other at the moment, nobody game to go up high, a lot of dirt out there.
How do you adjust to a track like this that's fairly rough early on?
Hold on.
Yeah, okay, that's a very good answer.
It's very difficult, actually. The bikes, the more dirt, the more drive that you have. So therefore, passenger and rider have to be very careful. The bike doesn't want to wheel stand down the back straight or cause problems in mid-turn.
What would a passenger do on a track like this that may differ from a slick track?
Normally, to drive the bike, the passenger will come off the back. You'll notice here that Moon's passenger will actually sit off the back behind the rider. Here comes Firth now trying to put a challenge on Moon. But normally the passenger will just avoid giving the bike a lot of drive if they can help it, to avoid wheel stands.
Just a couple of corners to negotiate now, with Moon and Dennis clinging on to a slender race lead in Heat 1 of the Australian Championship for Rising Sun Honda. And the Townsville combination, too good. They score 3 points. Firth and Fleming second, getting the 2 points. Gates the 1 point. And obviously the fallers early in the race, Headland and Waters, coming up with 0 points in Heat number 1. Okay, we move along to heat number 2 in just a moment. Grant Bond from New South Wales involved in this heat, and I spoke to him before the meeting.
Grant, why can you win tonight?
Well, I'd like to think it's my turn, David. I haven't had a fantastic season, but the last at the New South Wales titles, I had a really good night. Felt comfortable there at the practice night, so yeah, I'd like to think it is my night.
If memory serves me correctly, you rode pretty well at the corresponding meeting at Gosford last time there was a national championship, so can you replicate that tonight? And you have got one of the biggest travelling fan squads in the sport, I might add. Yeah, brought a few people with me. Yeah, my first heat at Gosford wasn't good, but then I went through with 4 wins, and I was hoping for big things in the final, but rolled over, and so ended up 4th. But that's my best finish in the Australian title, so I'd like to think we can build on that and go up.
Yeah, Bondi, a very good rider, former Australian long track sidecar champion. And here's the starters in heat number 2. Bond and Cox from the Hunter Valley, Sewell and Sewell from Queensland, Pim and Brown from Kellyville in Sydney's northwest, and Parker and Rudloff out of South Australia. Good field here. On the inside, it's Bond, the Novocastrian in the red helmet colour. He got the best start. Also away quickly, the South Australian Ronnie Parker, with Rudloff hanging on gamely on the side of the bike, and they head down the back straight in that order, Darren.
Problems for Sewell at the back, actually went on the infield there, but Bond, one of the favourites, won the Sidecar Masters here last year. The track with plenty of drive, and Grant Bond and Glenn Cox doing a great job out in front.
The team running in second position, Sewell and Sewell, husband and wife combo. Why would you do that to your wife, Darren? Why would you expect your missus to sit on the side of one of these things?
Yes, unfortunately for Louise, she just has to hang on to the side of Big Billy Sewell. So Bond still our race leader with around about a lap to go. Bit of pressure from Sewell now as he puts a bit of pressure on the back of Ronnie Parker. Parker with massive amounts of drive as they go up the back straight.
Yeah, he's got the bike working nicely. Been around the sport for a long time and has supported the sport from coast to coast too, as has our race leader, Grant Bond. On the side of the machine is Glenn Cox. Very experienced combination. They work well together. And, well, for Bond, it's a huge family affair, the sport too. His kids travel with him, and his wife and his dad, and they're all on the road as we see the checkered flag. And the New South Welshman taking the maximum 3 points in Heat 2 of the Australian Sidecar Championship. Parker was second and Sewell third. With thanks to Rams Heads, Ryland and Son, Mitre 10 Hardware in Townsville, and Speedway Racing News magazine. Now, Dave Bottrell is involved in the third event tonight, the South Australian, one of the most improved in the country. I spoke with him.
Dave, it would be fair to say you're one of the most improved sidecar riders in the country over the last few years. You've got to be proud of the way you're going and the way you present your team.
Yeah, we worked pretty hard on getting the machinery right, and obviously our efforts to get ourselves to the top. And I think doing the miles and coming up against these guys every week sort of gets you sharper and sharper.
You race most weekends of the year, and you are one of the best travellers in the sport. You talk about spending time getting the bikes right. How much time? How much preparation in the shed? How many hours leading up to a race meeting?
Oh, something like a title, it doesn't stop. Half the time you sacrifice your work just so you can spend the hours on the bike, but on a normal week with running 2 bikes and that, you're probably putting in 20, 30 hours. That's after work, and then something like a title, they all get pulled down, put back together, and then probably pulled down and put back together again just to be sure. So it's a lot of hours.
The amazing thing about this championship in 2007, Darren, is the fact there are 3 female passengers in the field. I can't remember that ever happening before. And we see 2 of them here. Monk and Shelley Warnes in red, Aldridge and Aldridge in blue, Bottrell and Pitt in white, and Ricky Laycock and his sister Kim in yellow on the extreme outside. Of course, we've already talked about Louise Sewell as well. So it's a 3-girl assault on the national championship as we get them underway now. Monk, the Queenslander, on the inside with Shelley Warnes on the side. They began well and take the lead. In second, it's Aldridge and Aldridge. They hail from Townsville and they are very good riders. There's some contact further back in the field involving Bottrell, who we heard from just prior to tapes going up. And let's sort them out now as we see our leader up front. It's Monk with Warnes on the side, and Bottrell has moved through into second.
Yeah, watch for Bottrell here on the inside of Monk. Monk with plenty of experience, over 50 years of age, silver-haired, and now getting bashed out of the way by Bottrell. And here comes the local man, Jason Aldridge. Watch out for the Aldridge brothers in second spot.
Aldridge, a very hard charge up. They keep it nice and low down the circuit. Look, Darren's already alluded to the fact that the track is very grippy. It's a little bit ruddy, plenty of deep dirt out there. And no surprise at this early stage of proceedings to see teams electing to run down on the low line as we see Bottrell move up higher on the circuit and Aldridge coming with a charge inside the last racing lap.
Oh, it's going to be hell into the last turn. And here comes Aldridge, the local. The crowd's gone absolutely haywire. It's Aldridge on the last corner to take Bottrell. Bottrell now second spot. Back in third spot, it was Wayne Monk and Shelley Warnes. Good race, David.
Indeed. Also a big thanks to the Ryan Group, of course, proprietors Rhino and Shelley Ryan, who also operate this marvellous venue at Pioneer Park. On the Warrenor Plumbing Services replay, 2 corners to negotiate. You can see the aggression of Aldridge and Aldridge up on the inside. That's the great thing about this sport. They take no prisoners. Every lap, every race, every weekend. I spoke with Scott Christopher earlier.
Well, can you repeat what you achieved at Murray Bridge in 2005? Have you got the feeling in the bones tonight?
Yeah, definitely. You know, we've had some good lead-up meetings to this race meeting, and you know, it's good to ride at home. So hopefully all goes well and we'll come out on top.
Why would you say North Queensland has produced prolifically over the years so many good sidecar teams?
I don't know. We've always had a good track down here, so the speedway's always been running, and also some of the competitors, you know, like Gary Moon and stuff like that have been around a long time. They've kept the sport at the top. It makes it hard for us young fellas to come along and try to beat them, but it keeps us all improving. You know, we're chasing them, they're chasing us, so it keeps us on the pace for sure.
So we prepare now for Heat 4 in the Rising Sun Honda Australian Speedway Sidecar Championship. Christopher, who we just heard from, and Copy ride from gate 1 in red. Plaisted and Harrison blue from 2. Taylor Oliver in white from 3. And the defending champion Treloar and Plaisted, they'll line up in yellow on the extreme outside gate. This will be a thriller. 2 of the big hitters in sidecar racing meeting in this particular race. And Christopher and Copy got a terrific start over on the inside. Second at the moment is Plaisted and Harrison, the South Australian combination, and Darren Treloar and Justin Plaisted. Darren are tailed off.
Darren and Justin actually got a shocker of a start, but here they come now. Look at Mark Plaisted in second spot, putting some pressure on the world champions. The bikes, the attitude is unbelievable. Here comes Treloar and Plaisted. Up the inside of Mark Plaisted. He fights back on the outside.
What a rider, Darren Treloar, and he has made up some time here remarkably. Got a shocking start, was tailed off by probably 10 bike lengths from the lead at one stage. And have a look at him coming home now. He drives up on the inside of Christopher and Copy. No big pardons asked for or given. It's a drag race as they get across the start-finish line with 1 lap to go, and Treloar has taken the lead. Well, he asserts his superiority in convincing fashion.
Yes, Darren Treloar, the consummate professional from last to first, and he has just overtaken the current world champion to win that heat. Brilliant stuff, Treloar and Plaisted.
Well, Treloar and Plaisted showing there that they are here to win yet another national crown in 2007. That was a great ride. And Christopher and Copy, well, that's a psychological blow. They led comfortably and they were run down fairly convincingly. That brings down the checkered flag on the first round of heats. 4 heats gone, 16 remaining. And as we commence the second round with heat number 5. Mick Headland from South Australia involved here, and I spoke with him.
Well, Mick, you've travelled a long way to be here tonight. Will it be worthwhile? Can you win it realistically?
Oh, I think we've got a good shot at it, Dave. Put a lot of effort into the bike this year, and we've had a couple of good successes down in South Australia. We were here a couple of weeks ago and had a pretty good night here. The bike went off song in the practice a bit, but we've fixed that, I think, and we'll give it our best shot.
Yeah, Headland, always a consistent performer. Of course, we saw him fall in his first outing tonight, so he scored no points there, looking to make amends in this his second heat ride. You see the field on screen. Treloar and Playstead a slightly easier assignment this time as they line up in red on the inside.
You'll notice too the passengers just before the start, they're starting to clear the dirt. For the uninitiated, this is to actually get the bike to get drive out of the start area. You'll see Treloar did the right thing. First up is Treloar from Headland, Bond, and at the back of the pack, just can't quite pick up that rider.
The yellow and black, it's Dave Bottrell with Pitt on the side, and they spread out. It's Indian File Racing during the early stages of heat number 5. Treloar, the greatest sidecar rider that New South Wales has ever produced in this sport. 10 New South Wales Championship victories. There's not a lot that he hasn't won. He's already won 3 Australian Championships, gunning for number 4 tonight. Has been really the dominant force, particularly since the retirement of O'Brien and Cleve.
Absolutely, and to make it even better, he has Justin Playstead on the back, which not only one of the best passengers in Australia, but was also a very, very good and qualified rider.
Yeah, very good point. So Treloar is showing them how it's done in heat number 5 here. Leads comfortably. Really no change in the order. It's Headland and Waters lying in second on the circuit. And third is Bottrell and Pitt. So Grant Bond will talk about the fluctuating fortunes of motorsport. He won his first heat convincingly. In this heat, he's going to come up with 0. There he is at the back, Grant Bond. He won't be happy with that. So Treloar and Playstead defeating Headland and Waters, with Bottrell and Pitt in third. Again, thank you to Speedway Racing News magazine, first with the news every fortnight, and Rams Heads. So Treloar and Playstead on a maximum 6 points after 2 heat rides here. I spoke with Stuart Firth earlier tonight.
At Gosford, the corresponding meeting last year, for a moment you looked like you were going to win it.
Yeah, we thought we were. We were out in the front. I couldn't even hear a bike around me. We thought we had it done. Yep, didn't happen. I think everyone else seems to sort of be more upset about it than I do. I just sort of take it as it comes. There's always this year. We'll give it another go, see if we can do it better.
You'd describe your season so far as frustrating?
We've had a pretty bad season, all said and done. We've had niggling bike problems all year, one little thing after another. I hope it all comes good tonight, though.
Yeah, many people believe Stuart Firth desperately unlucky not to have won last year's championship crown. There's the field now to do battle in heat number 6. We're midway through the second round of heats. And let's keep our eyes on Playstead and Harrison, the South Australian, starting in the red over on the inside. Best to begin, however, was Stuart Firth, the Brisbaneite, with Fleming on the side of the bike. And they clear out, leading by about 4 metres in second. It's Playstead and Harrison from South Australia. And third on the racetrack presently is Chris Pym and Brown, a fair way off the lead as they head back down the main straight. It's all Stuart Firth at the moment. In second place presently, Playstead and Harrison. No doubting Mark Playstead, Darren, one of the most improved sidecar riders in the country. You can never discount him.
Certainly, Mark Playstead, and another rider on the back too in Sam Harrison, with plenty of experience on the bars as well as passenger. Oh, massive accident at the back of the pack there, David.
Pym and Brown are gone. Oh, Brown got up to his feet and then collapses in Disneyland. The passenger, you can see how wobbly he is in the pins, and Chris Pym has hardly moved, face in the dirt. A terrible accident here.
Watch Brown, the passenger, his head actually bounces on the ground there, and then another big hit on the back as well. So Brown, very, very dazed. Tough customer though, Brown, and Chris Pym, no movement at all.
So rider and passenger, the news from the scene is they're okay. Chris Pym will be taken to hospital for observation and potentially some x-rays, but they came together with Wayne Monk there and his passenger Shelley Warnes, and the referee Dave Mills has determined that Wayne Monk has been deemed the cause of the incident, and as such has been excluded, as that graphic shows you.
Yeah, it's a little bit out of picture for us and we couldn't see what happened. Chris Pym did go fairly wide on the main straight, but the restart now, Firth and Playstead, big wheel stand from Playstead out of the line. Bit of pressure too. Playstead pushes Firth up really high into the dirt. Playstead out of here.
So the South Aussie combo have barnstormed and taken the lead here. Already have you'd have to describe it as an unassailable lead. Even with 3 to go, they're cruising at the moment. Playstead and Harrison. Firth and Fleming will try and make me look silly and come surging up behind him and make a race out of it with a couple to go.
Yes, I don't think so this time. 2 points is better than sort of nothing, I suppose, for Firth and Fleming after getting bustled out at the start. But Playstead and Harrison looking very, very good around this fairly drivey Brandon Park track.
Darren, tell our viewers, the uninitiated, about these 1045cc machines.
Well, the engines are restricted to 1045cc, so if you've got an 1100cc, you'll have to sleeve that back to 1045. It is a rule that came in a fair while ago now. Most of the guys running Yamahas or Suzukis, or a couple of guys have a Honda in the case of the Rising Sun Honda team.
And to the checkered flag runs our eventual winner, Mark Playstead, with Harrison on the side. Firth and Fleming picking up the 2 points. And unfortunately for the fallers and the passenger and rider excluded, they come up with nothing for their efforts there. So we'll move along to heat number 7. Next on the program in the Rising Sun Honda Australian Speedway Sidecar Championship. We heard from Scott Christopher earlier. Now let's talk to his passenger.
Well, Trent, you know what is involved in winning Australian Championships. Have you got that feeling in the stomach tonight?
Yeah, I believe we're ready to go. Our equipment's back to A1 condition. Scotty and I have fit as, but you and I know we need a little bit of luck to go our way, and hopefully that'll fall into place tonight.
When you say your machinery's back running on song, are you saying that you lost the plot for a moment or not?
We've tried a few different things through the year. It's the only way the sport's going to go ahead. You know, we're trying different motors, different setups. But you know, for the big ones, we go back to what we know, and we've trialled it in the last 2 meetings and come up trumps. So yeah, it's ready to go.
Now it's time for heat number 7, and Christopher and Copy will prove tough nuts here, but so too Moon and Dennis. They start in the yellow on the extreme outside. The other Queenslanders, Sewell and Sewell, out of gate number 3 in white, and of course there's Aldridge and Aldridge over on the inside too. So we've got an all Queensland heat number 7 here. The second last heat in the second round of heats underway. No place for the faint-hearted up front. Aldridge and Aldridge are the leaders. Christopher and Copy are running up high on the circuit. This is a drag race. They're side by side. There's arms and legs and elbows and handlebars all over the joint, and Aldridge has taken the lead.
Yeah, good tough stuff from one of the locals. Look at Moon. Absolutely knocks Christopher and Copy out of the way. The 3 locals, Aldridge, Moon and Christopher.
You can hear the crowd here. They've all got local support. And this youngster up front, Aldridge, doing a nice job. He's tidy out there at the moment. Gee, the track is demanding, isn't it? There's plenty of deep dirt. There's rooster tail. The difficulty for the riders in second place, and indeed if you're behind any team, you're going to be copying mouthfuls of dirt, aren't you?
Of course, what we call filled in. As you can see, the rooster tail off the back of the first bike of Aldridge. Absolutely, when you go down the back straight, it is very difficult to see, and we have tear-offs. A little plastic film that you pull off your goggles so that you can actually see as you go down the back straight.
Listen to the fans here. They're going right off in heat number 7. Aldridge is the leader. There is the checkered flag, so he scores the maximum 3 points. Second to the checker, Moon and Dennis. Christopher and Copy eventually placed third, picking up the 1 point. Again, thank you to Rams Heads. Also thanks to Ryland and Sons Mitre 10 Hardware at Townsville and the Ryan Group. Heat 8 will be next on the program, and I spoke with Ronnie Parker earlier.
Well, Ronnie, golden run last night of the qualifying meeting. You've got to be feeling confident about tonight.
Oh yeah, it's had a good night last night, that's for sure. But they're out the little pond into the big pond, so bigger fish in this one. So we'll give it our best shot and see how we go. That's for sure.
I think it's fair to say that there are a few people in the sport as passionate about what they do as you, and it shows.
Oh, that's for sure, mate. I love it. The shed time, the Blake Cave, in that shed, away from everybody. You just got to do it. It's just as fun. And the awesome thing when you get it right in every corner, there's nothing beats it. It's just fantastic.
And he is one of the most popular characters in this sport, is Ronnie Parker. A very elaborate nickname of the Prince of Port Adelaide. Gates, Parker, Rudloff, Laycock, Taylor, Oliver. Probably 5 years ago, Taylor and Oliver were regarded as one of the really emerging teams in the sport. They won the $5,000 to win Sidecar Grand Slam at Gosford in 2001 and were pretty hot in the trot for a while, but just haven't been quite as consistent in recent times, although arguably very quick on occasions. Underway we are in heat number 8.
Speaking of hot to trot, Ronnie Parker, the Prince of Port Adelaide, very, very comical sidecar rider. And as you can see in the interview, looks more like a Hell's Angel rather than a Speedway sidecar rider.
He'll appreciate you saying that, I'm sure. Parker back straight, leading by about 8 metres. In second, it's Gates and Gates. And this Parker-Rudloff combination do not appear to be in any danger. Parker's got a very distinctive style on the bike. He sits kind of very upright.
Just about to comment on that myself, David. Ronnie sits very, very upright, and you'll notice that with the last race winner, which was Aldridge, actually hangs right off the right-hand side of the bike. Look at the work there from Rudloff. As the bike tilts sideways and starts to go, we will say very sideways, Rudloff will sit up. There we go again, sit up and make the bike drives. Therefore, you don't spin the bike around.
Yeah, to get the weight over the back wheel, attain maximum traction. Here he is now. Well, here they are, off turn number 4, checkered flag. It's Parker and Rudloff. We'll recap the positions for you, the way they finish in heat number 8. You can see there that Laycock and Laycock were well back in last place. I'll be disappointed with that. Parker too good, Gates second, Taylor in third. 3, 2 and 1 points respectively. And that's the completion of the second round of qualifying heats. Earlier, I caught up with Steve Taylor. Well, I say North Queensland is the home of sugarcane plantations and mango farms. What about the melons on YouTube? What's doing with your heads? Start with you, Steve. Very innovative.
Oh, I don't know. I just we like to be noticed, I suppose. We come down to put a bit of a statement in tonight. We've been racing a long time. We've put a lot of time and money into this, and we're real serious about it. So, great to be on the top of the podium tonight with a real bright melon.
Do you do each other's heads?
No, I don't touch him.
On a serious note, very fast last night on occasions. You'd have to be feeling pretty good tonight.
Yeah, I think we are. We didn't come down the last couple of meetings. We spent a bit of time in Mildura racing because they raced down there pretty hard too. But we should have come up in a few laps. But it felt good enough, I think. But we need to make a few changes tonight, I think, to catch the big boys. But we've beat them all before, and we're going to do it again tonight.
There's Steve Taylor. He's determined. Unfortunately for he and passenger Dave Oliver are excluded from heat number 9 at the first time of asking for touching the tape. So in comes reserve Chris Hughes and his passenger Ing. You saw the remainder, Monson and Gates. They are in riding for Chris Pym and Brown, who crashed earlier. So we've got a bit of a mixed up field here. Aldridge and Aldridge on the extreme outside in yellow and Headland and Waters in white. They're two worth watching. And we can see here now, here's Headland in the white helmet colour lying in second place. The leader, however, is Chris Hughes doing a good job in the blue helmet colour.
One of the locals, Chris Hughes. There goes Headland, busts through on the inside. Chris Hughes about to come under some more big pressure from the big fella Joel Aldridge and Jason Aldridge.
Look at the speed here from the South Australian Headland, who does a lot of his racing around Gilman and Murray Bridge and venues like that. Capable of being very, very quick on his night. Waters hanging on grimly onto the side of the machine. It is no place for the faint-hearted out here tonight. Racetrack very choppy, very deep, and you can see the front wheels coming off the ground regularly.
Yes, Mick Headland, very underrated rider. On his day, could win absolutely anything. The bike doing some amazing wheel stands coming out of the turns. Massive attitude. Look at the front wheel in the air as they go into the turn. No fear, Mick Headland, and will take this one out.
No fear the passenger either. There's the checkered flag in heat 9. And we'll recap them. Headland throwing the left fist in the air, delighted with that. Aldridge second. And third to the checker was Hughes and Ing, after leading the race for the first half lap or so. That was his moment in the sun. Chris Budgie Hughes on the Warrenora Plumbing Services replay. You can see how it panned out.
Absolutely. As they came into that top corner then, the attitude is just unbelievable. To see the slow motion there, you can see the bikes bucking and jumping, and a real handful. There'll be some sore boys at the end of the night. You'll notice there Glenn Cox clearing the way for Grant Bond to try and get a good start. So this time we've got Laycock, Bond, Christopher and Firth.
And a very good field. Thanks to the Ryan Group. Rams Heads underway. Quick team on the inside. Best to begin, Laycock and Laycock. They've had an indifferent night tonight in the 2007 Australian Sidecar Championship. Haven't really shone. Perhaps this is their race. Have a look at Christopher and Copy on the Rising Sun Honda machine. They lie in second. They're having a very rough ride, and they've got their sights set on their fellow Queenslanders, Laycock and Laycock. Bond is plugging away in third spot with Cox on the side of the bike, and Firth and Fleming are tailed off.
Oh, Christopher, it's like a shark after a seal at the moment. Now Ricky Laycock and Kim Laycock gone up a little bit high. and there really is nothing up there for them. Christopher and Copy, now your race leader, tailed off Laycock and Bond a long way behind in third.
Indeed. Race leaders, the Townsville Flyers, who went across to England and won the unofficial Sidecar World Championship last year, the Sidecar Gold Cup Trophy, which incidentally will be held at Royal Adelaide Showground, or Wayville Showground as many people know it by, on the 24th of November this year. The world's best sidecar riders head to Australia for the Gold Cup, and you'll see that here on checkered flag. It's Christopher, Laycock and Bond, first, second and third.
You notice as they come through the corner here, Christopher with a lot of push in the front. Laycock, a little touch there. Now Christopher has the line, and all he's got to do is squeeze on that 160 plus horsepower and take up the race lead.
Earlier tonight I caught up with one of the great characters in this sport, Louise Sewell. She loves doing it in the dirt.
Well, Louise, you can appreciate people watching this think that you're an unusual female. Is that a fair comment?
Oh yeah, well and truly. There's not too many of us out there, and what there is of us, you've got to be pretty tough to do it. So yeah, you'd say that.
You had an incident about a month ago which made you probably reevaluate your career. Is that a fair comment?
Yeah, I had a serious accident here about 4 weeks ago where I was suspected spinal injury on the top of my neck. I still want to continue racing. I didn't want to quit for my own reasons. I wanted to quit for health reasons. I haven't decided what to do as yet, but the family's happy to continue racing, so I'm staying there for a while.
Heat 11, as I said, is next on the program. Parker and Rudloff on the inside in red. Bottrell and Pitt in blue from 2. Moon and Dennis white from 3. Mark Playstead, Sam Harrison, yellow from gate number 4. As you'd expect at a national championship event, it's a good field, and let me tell you, it's a good crowd here tonight too, in balmy weather conditions. Beautiful North Queensland at its very best. Underway, Parker and Rudloff continue with their sparkling form here this weekend and take the lead by about 3 metres. Coming quickly now is Bottrell and Pitt into second place.
And one of the favourites, Moon, absolutely stuck on the line. His Playstead serves up Chris Hughes as they go through the bottom turn. But there, you just caught in picture then. Gary Moon, one of the favourites, now busts through the third spot.
Moon riding with plenty of aggression tonight, as he's needed to, because he's missed the start a couple of times. The gating's so important in this sport. You're watching Ronnie Parker, centre of your screen, as he negotiates this Pioneer Park venue, and they're all hugging the low line again.
Yes, it's very slick on the low line, David. That's making it a bit easier for the riders. The slick and no dirt area is much easier to ride on rather than heaps and heaps of dirt, although a lot of riders like the dirt.
Just can't believe how different Ronnie Parker's style is to the majority of riders. It really shows up on television. And that man goes down the back straight on the last racing lap with a 7-bike gap between he and his nearest rival in second place. And that man is Playstead, as Parker greets the checkered flag and takes the 3 points. Playstead second, and Moon officially placed third across the line. You're watching the Rising Sun Honda 2007 Australian Speedway Sidecar Championship, and we're coming to you from the Pioneer Park venue at Ayr in North Queensland. Still 9 heats remaining, and then the all-important grand final. Stay with us. Nice to have your company. Welcome back to Pioneer Park Speedway at Ayr in North Queensland. This is the Rising Sun Honda Australian Speedway Sidecar Championship on a very demanding racetrack tonight. And we advance to Heat 12. This is the final heat in the third round of qualifying heat. Treloar and Playstead return to battle in red. Gates and Gates in blue from 2. Monk and Warnes in white from 3. And Sewell and Cohen in yellow from gate number 4. Louise Sewell is not taking part in the remainder of the meeting, despite having ridden on the side of the husband's bike in the opening 2 heats. Can Treloar do it again here? Front wheel lifted spectacularly there, but the New South Welshman got it down with plenty of horsepower, and Treloar and Playstead take the lead. In second spot, it's Monk and Warnes. And who's this on the outside? It's Billy Sewell having a big go.
Oh, Sewell just ran out of track there as he came out of turn 4. It does tend to close up a little bit. Wayne Monk actually riding on a Kawasaki, one of the few Kawasaki's in the field, but Treloar and Playstead just absolutely poetry in motion.
As we watch Treloar in action, give our viewers an insight on the technology of the motorbikes.
Well, with Darren Treloar, of course, he has practically the best of everything. Runs a Yamaha engine, a Mitchell frame, but mainly modified just for him. Darren has his own special settings that he'll use at each different track, and does a lot of work, mechanical work on his own motorcycle, and you can see it does pay off if you know what you're doing mechanically.
And the cost to go racing at the top level?
I've heard some guys have spent in excess of around about $35,000 on a great motorcycle, but you can buy one for as little as, say, $5,000 or $6,000.
Checkered flag time for Treloar and Placed. They played with their opposition there in heat number 12. Monk and Warnes, Gates and Gates were second and third to the checker. But Treloar and Placed, frankly, toying with their opponents on that occasion. So that's the completion of the third round of qualifying heats. And now it's time for event or heat number 13. You can see the track has been prepped, it's been graded and rolled, and hopefully that'll make a difference to the racing. We've not seen that much overtaking, to be honest. It's been very rough and difficult for riders once they get off that racing line on the pole. You can see there Sewell and Cohen start this race on the inside in red. Laycock in gate 2 in blue, Placed and Harrison in white from 3, and Headland, who won his previous heat, on the extreme outside in yellow. And Mick Headland, the South Australian, got a good start. You can see him racing prominently here in second spot, but the leader is Sewell with Cohen on the side of the bike.
Seemed to be a problem there for Laycock. Stuck his hand in the air and got off the gas, actually. No problems for Mick Headland. The South Australian barges through on the inside of Sewell. Watch Sewell come back now as they go down the back straight. They'll be side by side.
This is the best race of the night so far. See, that's what the track prep has done. It's created a couple of racing lines, and have a look at this, will you? It's Headland on the inside, Sewell on the outer, and they are carving each other up. Sewell drifts up high towards the fence on the exit to turn number 2. Headland, well, he'd be asking how good could my night have been this evening. He fell off and scored nothing in his first ride and has been white hot ever since.
This is just absolutely awesome. 3 wheels around Pioneer Park in air. It's got to be the way to go. How close was that when they went past this stricken Ricky Laycock last time around? Mick Headland would have just sort of went, whoa, what was that? Mick Headland, great ride. Look at Placed in third spot. One of the top point scorers for the night. He's back in third. Great ride from Billy Sewell and Brodie Cohen as well to take out second spot. Mick Headland and Waters, the race winner.
On the replay, we recap what was a fierce battle between these teams.
As you can see there, Mick Headland just got a nice line onto the main straight, sneaks up the inside of Billy Sewell. Bye-bye, Mick Headland.
Heat 14, terrific atmosphere here tonight. Crowd is jumping, there's plenty of local representation in the field, big crowd, perfect weather conditions, and it looks now we've got a perfect racetrack as well after having a track early on that was making it very difficult. So in 14, Firth and Fleming over on the inside, the Queenslanders. Treloar and Placed it out of gate 2 in the blue helmet colour. Then it's Parker and Rudloff in white. Aldridge at the back. And again we see Darren Treloar and Justin Placed surge to the front in the Australian Sidecar Championship. Heat 14 leading comfortably.
Yes, David, and Stewie Firth's been hot and cold all night. Seems to get some really good gates. The shock at the moment is we've got Aldridge in third spot and Ronnie Parker, who's been on fire, back in fourth spot.
Yeah, pretty hot combo up front though, isn't it? Treloar and Placed unbeaten tonight. Their bike and their pit area, their overall team presentation, they set the absolute benchmark in this sport. And congratulations to them. And look, from what we've seen tonight, it's very difficult to imagine anyone beating them come grand final time in this evening's event. Treloar and Placed up the main straight they run, and through turns 1 and 2, a lead of about 10 metres over Firth and Fleming.
There's a graphic example there as they went down the back straight. Oh, there's a move by looked like Aldridge comes through on the inside, and here's Firth back again on the inside as they hit the black and white. It's got to be photo finish that one for second.
How good was that? Very close. Firth got there by a wheel nut. But everyone here at the venue wondering if there's a team capable of stopping the juggernaut that is Treloar and Placed.
Great work here from Firth. Pulled the bike up mid-turn, now fires it out on the inside for a charge at Aldridge and Aldridge combination. It's very, very close on the line, and it looked like Firth just got it by half a wheel.
He did indeed. It's heat number 15 now. Taylor and Oliver, inside line red helmet colour. Moon and Dennis blue gate 2. Monk and Warnes white gate 3. And Grant Bond and his passenger Glenn Cox on the extreme outside scraping the boards. Wearing the yellow helmet colour, if you've just joined us, this is the 2007 Australian Speedway Sidecar Championship, And Taylor and Oliver, it was like they were riding a Bronco out of the start there. They got that high in the front end.
Massive amounts of drive from Taylor and Oliver. The local favourite, Gary Moon, he's been around for eternity. Dwayne Dennis on the back, one of the best passengers. You could compare him to be as good as Justin Playstead. Second spot, more experience there in Wayne Monk with the little lady on the back, Shelley Warnes.
Yeah, and Monk, of course, retired from racing for a number of years, didn't he? I guess he went missing for 5 or 6 years and is now back into the sport and enjoying himself. Moon came into this event, well, I suppose the sentimental favourite for many. He's resided in this part of the world for the majority of his life, and he really has flown the North Queensland motorcycle speedway flag with distinction for decades, and he's just so popular, got enormous support here tonight. The man in green, he leads fairly comfortably as he heads down the back straight for the last time.
Notice too, Grant Bond trying to squeeze up the inside of Steve Taylor back for third spot. Wayne Monk actually out for 8 years. He used to ride what they call a twin Godden with 2 Godden engines joined together. But there we see Gary Moon and Dwayne Dennis. That's good 3 points for them. Wayne Monk and Shelley Warnes in second, and Grant Bond and Glenn Cox from Newcastle squeezed through for the point.
Well, Grant Bond would be thinking, what have I got to do? What's going wrong here tonight? Started in the best possible fashion, but he hasn't looked hot since, to be honest. Maybe he's got bike problems, I don't know. Not fair for us to speculate. Just stating the obvious that he's not going as well as he should be based on his ability. Bottrell, Monson, Gates and Christopher are the riders to face the starter here in heat number 16. This is the last heat in the penultimate round of qualifying heats. Just 4 heats remaining after this, and then the top 4 go to the grand final. It's Christopher and Copy. They punch their bike to the front of the pack and lead by 5 metres as they approach turns 3 and 4 the first time. In second, it's Bottrell and Pitt, the South Australians.
Track has changed considerably, a lot smoother now. Still plenty of dirt up high, but you notice most of the riders can actually ride up there without too much problem. Christopher and Copy, they need the 3 points, and at the moment out in front and doing an absolutely awesome job on the Rising Sun Honda.
That's a lovely shot of the North Queenslanders in full flight as they negotiate this marvellous circuit near Brandon, Air North Queensland, and it is all Christopher and Copy. Of course, Copy, the passenger, his dad Bernie, the owner of Rising Sun Honda, the principal sponsor of this race, and a former very good racer himself, Bernie Copy.
Yes,
champion in the family.
And used to make, actually made some of the great laydown frames before the Mitchell was invented. But great stuff from Christopher Copy on the side, formidable combination. It will be great come final time.
So there's the results for you in heat number 16. Thanks to Rams Heads, Ryland and Sons Motor 10 Solutions, the hardware people at Townsville, Speedway Racing News magazine and the Ryan Group supporting this coverage of the 2007 Sidecar Nationals from North Queensland. Headland, Parker, Christopher and Monk are the riders. Waters, Rudloff, Copy and Warnes, the passengers. And you saw the helmet colours relevant to the combinations. Over on the inside, Headland and Waters got a wobbly start on that occasion. Christopher and Copy returning for battle here in heat number 17, and they're up high against the fence at the moment, dicing with Headland and Waters. Race leader is Parker and Rudloff.
Christopher and Copy way too high and lost 3 bike lengths, allowed Headland to bust through on the inside into second spot. Here comes Christopher and Copy back again on Headland. What a race, a difference between a track grade, and now we've got some absolute wild riding from Christopher, and here comes Headland back on the inside. Ronnie Parker leads him up.
Much better racing track now, isn't it? Parker in front, leading by 3 bike lengths as he heads off turn number 2 and sets up for the run down the back section of the circuit. No change in the order here now. The South Australian flyer sits about mid-track as he exits turn number 4, sees the yellow flag, signifying 1 lap of this venue to run. In second, it's Christopher and Copy. Oh, a moment there for the combination of Headland and Waters in third. They got very untidy, and I can see that Monk and Warnes are pulled over onto the infield. They don't complete the journey here in heat number 17. Christopher and Copy in second. Your winners, Parker and Rudloff. Well, the weekend just keeps getting better for them.
Yes, that was a near miss there for Headland and Waters. Very, very close to tipping the bike over on the inside. just keep an eye on the passengers, how they move as they go through the corner and then move their weight back towards the back wheel as they go down the back straight. Between the first section of the night, the track was very, very difficult to ride, and now they would have to change their bikes to actually cater for this different track later on in the night.
Yeah, you're talking about the weight transfer of the passenger. It plays such a pivotal role in the performance of the bike in heat number 18. Look at the action out there as we see Bottrell and Pitt in the red helmet colour leading this race. That is in the blue helmet colour Stuart Firth out of Brisbane, moving up into second on the circuit. Third is Taylor and Oliver, also from Brisbane. And tailed off at the back is Sewell and Cohen, wearing the white helmet colour in this race. But look at the gap that our leader has opened up, riding a different bike in this race too. A predominantly white machine is Bottrell.
Yes, Dave Bottrell, been riding Eliminator frames out of South Australia. One of the brilliant frames they do handle quite well. The former Australian champion Andrew Cleve was a big supporter of Eliminator frames. So currently, that's probably the biggest lead we have seen all night, David. Second spot, it's all on between the Queenslanders, Steve Taylor, and it was Firth, I think, was also there, and one of the other riders has pulled to the infield. Indeed,
here comes the battle for second as the checkered flag unfolds. Bottrell far too good. Taylor in second ahead of Firth in a race that was frankly a procession, with Bottrell winning by half an hour. He had to contend with terminal boredom was his biggest problem there.
How was that? 3 wide through the turn, Sewell on the outside. There's Firth squeezed through on the inside.
The second last heat in the Australian Championship for 2007 sees Moon and Dennis on the inside in red, and they need a victory here. Laycock and Laycock in blue, Treloar and Plaisted, the benchmark in this sport. They ride in white from gate 3, and Hughes and Ing up against the wall in the yellow helmet colour, right-hand side of screen now.
Yes, Gary Moon really needs to put one together here. Treloar, another wheel stand on the outside and finds himself in third spot at the moment. The local boy, Gary Moon. Treloar's back in third and under pressure from Chris Hughes at the moment. The crowd's going wild with Gary Moon in front.
How good is this? Moon, himself a former national champion, is showing the way home to the defending and 3 times Australian champion. Speaking of him, Treloar has now secured second on the circuit. It'd be 10 bike lengths separating first and second, so are we going to see Darren Treloar's colours lowered here? He hasn't dropped a point all night. He is human after all. Maybe it'll happen here.
Gary Moon, the Mr. Nice Guy of sidecar racing. Big lump of a fellow, over 40 years of age, and can wield this Husky Oils Yamaha around the Pioneer Park circuit brilliantly.
He leads. See how wide he was there on the exit to turn 4 as he chased the dirt. Looks like he's going to do it here. Treloar, I think you'll find, will be content with second. No need to be silly about it. He can afford to drop a point. He's been wheel perfect tonight otherwise. He's through to the main event, no doubt about it. So Moon takes victory and the crowd goes up here. Great rider. Dennis on the side of the bike. Treloar in place dead second. And then the brother-sister combo of Laycock. So Moon goes through.
Gee, David, Treloar, if he gets in the final with that type of competition and misses a start, anything could happen. Treloar could be lowered once again. With the form of Gary Moon and Scott Christopher, anything can happen if they make it through to the final.
Look, based on what's happened thus far, this race, the final qualifying heat, is superfluous in terms of its role in determining starters for the main event, which comes your way on the other side of this. It'll be Treloar, Moon, Christopher and Parker based on my quick points tally here in the box. Meanwhile, Bond has taken the lead in the final qualifying heat of the Australian Sidecar Championship. He now is challenged as they run through turns 3 and 4 the first time. It's Plaisted and Harrison racing to the front.
Yes, wham bam, thank you ma'am. Mark Plaisted bashes the way through Grant Bond. Grant in second spot has been all over the shop tonight, from the first heat where he won to running last in the second heat. You really can't tell. In third spot, one of the favourites I would have thought was the Aldridge brothers. But Mark Plaisted, the South Australian, with Sam Harrison on the back doing a great job. Got some massive speed.
Here they came from back in the field. You can't do any more than pass those riders ahead of you. And that's what he's doing off turn number 4. Plaisted and Harrison. Yellow flag has been shown by the start line official, and they're cruising here. Bond is still in second. No change in the order whatsoever. So this won't have any bearing on the main event. Still to come your way on the program after this race to determine the championship positions for 2007. But Plaisted and Harrison, in a good performance, take the victory in the final heat of the weekender. Bond and Cox in second, Aldridge and Aldridge in third. They haven't gone on with the job either tonight, Aldridge and Aldridge, after looking really quick early.
Yes, you'll notice here's Aldridge just coming through the turn at the moment. Now, with Jason Aldridge, he's normally way off the side of the bike. You'll notice the difference between Aldridge over to the right-hand side of the bike where Ronnie Parker, as you said earlier, sits straight up and down.
Well, now it's time for the big one. This race, the most important on the Australian Speedway sidecar calendar. In 2007, Treloar and Plaisted, the top point scorers, line up in red in gate 1, Moon and Dennis blue gate 2, Christopher and Copy. Well, they're on the outside in the yellow helmet colour, and Parker and Rudloff in white out of gate number 3. We are underway in the big one. Moon got a good start. Treloar got a better one. Look at Ronnie Parker. He pushes up on the inside. Terrific race. They're all side by side. Oh, now Moon goes to the front. Meantime, Ronnie Parker's lost his passenger. All hell's breaking loose in North Queensland.
Oh, they're so hard to tell there. Unbelievable. They were 4 wide. 4 wide as they went up the back straight. Unbelievable action. The first start. This looks like the second start for the final, David.
It does. Let's do it again. All riders back in again now. Sensational was that first lap. Can we produce something like that again? This time Treloar got the better start. That's him in front. Here's Moon on the outside. Parker and Rudloff having a nightmare ride. Meantime, Scott Christopher and Trent Copy in second. No, they're not. Moon and his passenger Dennis move up on the inside. Well, there's nothing between the three of them. They are going gangbusters here.
What a final. There's Moon now back on the inside of Christopher. The crowd is going absolutely wild. The 2 locals in second and third. Can they catch the New South Wales guys out in front?
It's Treloar, Darren and Justin Plaisted, your leaders. They lead by 4 bike lengths. Christopher and Copy and Moon and Dennis are giving it to each other. They're working themselves over and they are exchanging paint. They're running that close together on the circuit. Meantime, Treloar, whilst that battle is raging, is just starting to pull away. He's looking for Australian Championship victory number 4 and going to get it.
Absolute dogfight for second. Here comes Moon now. Moon's disposed of Christopher and Copy. Treloar with 1 corner left to go. Plaisted hangs off the back. There's Moon right on the rear seat. Second spot for Moon. Great stuff, Treloar and Plaisted. They'll be ecstatic with that. Christopher and Copy round out in third spot. Hard luck for Ronnie Parker. But a great effort to get through to the final.
That was one of the most exciting sidecar races I've ever seen. You guys were going mad out there.
Yeah, you know, it's definitely it. You know, they come down to the start, but that one had it all. You know, we were close for 3 or 4 laps there, so you know, it's a great night, really. You know.
And the pace was an absolute cracker.
Yeah, well, we were happy to make it there in the end. In the end, all the 4 bikes had great speed, and that's the way you want a final to be, that close. So, you know, the crowd would have enjoyed it, and it's good for the sport.
Well done, mate. You've been amongst the top 2 or 3 in the country for a number of years now, and to you as well, Trent. I guess a little disappointed in front of your home crowd, but not a lot wrong with being on the podium, is there?
No, I mean, saving graces. It was a nice tight final. You know, there was nothing in it. It was a different story if someone runs away with it, but you know, we all know we're on the same pace, and as anyone with Speedway knows, a bit of luck comes into play. And full credit to Darren and Justin. They are professionals. And, you know, they've picked the game up for the whole Speedway world, and that's great.
There's no doubt the first time the race was run, things were looking very good for your team.
Oh yeah, we were pretty excited. We got away. We didn't get away cleanly, but in the end we done a bit of a switch and got away down the back straight. Seen some clean air and knew we had the speed that if we could have got a clean run and got away, I don't think they would have caught us. But as it happens, as it always does in racing, you just got to put up with it. And it was a good race. Congratulations, Darren. He just rode great. He knew where I was. He knew how to take care of me. But we come back. We had a good go, and I'm happy with the way we went. You know, it looked like early in the night we could miss the final from a blunder I made. But we put our head down and bum up and worked really hard in the pits and got some more speed out of the bike. And, you know, the final was anyone's, and we're pretty happy.
That final was as intense a battle as I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was good. Like I said before, I got second last year, second this year. I've been in front both times and it's been stopped, actually. Yeah, I've got to thank all the Mooney sponsors and everyone helps us. It's just, yeah, no sponsors, no racing, no fans, no racing, so yeah, I'm happy.
Another national championship victory and plenty of stress along the way as well.
Yeah, there's always stress that comes with national championships, but it's good to win this. I've never backed one up. You know, I've got a first and a second, but I've never got two firsts. So, you know, I'll try and go for the hat trick like O'Brien and McCurdy and all them fellas join that list. I'd like to be on that list too, and yeah, obviously get another Australian title under my belt.
You and Darren are becoming one of the greatest combinations in the history of this sport.
Oh, we try our best, mate. You know, we do put a lot of effort in. We put so many hours in the shed, and you can see by our presentation on and off the track, and we really gel well together and go fast.
Well, the fairy tale tonight wouldn't be complete at Pioneer Park unless we spoke to the man they call the Prince of Port Adelaide, Ronnie Parker. Barnstorming weekend. Fourth in the end, but just to get to the final, something very special.
Oh, very happy. Highlight of our Speedway career, and it wouldn't have happened for Kevin Joy Waters. We was out of it. They helped us out with a couple of bikes. We come back. We qualified. We done really good times on the first night. Qualified well. Bang, we're in it. And fourth, what a bargain, eh? This has just been probably the highlight, like I say, the highlight of our Speedway career.
May you deserve it. Well done.
Thank you very much.
And passenger Shane Ridliff rode splendidly all weekend as well. Exciting time for you.
Oh, it certainly is. Like Ronnie said, we're just ecstatic to be here, be in the final. I'm just over the moon. I'm just glad that Ronnie accepted having me on the side. We both work well together. We've been together for a while now, so it was just fantastic. And yeah, I'm still coming to terms with it all, to be honest. It's just great.
Congratulations. Enjoy the night. Have a drink.
Thank you. I will.
Hope you've enjoyed our coverage of the 2007 Rising Sun Honda Australian Speedway Sidecar Championship from arguably the fastest speedway bike venue in the country here at Pioneer Park Speedway at Ayr in North Queensland. It's been our pleasure bringing it to you. We look forward to your company next time. Thanks for joining us.
And you can see victim Mark Blyton has outside of Warren Fergus on the outside by Lord He reaches the night shot. The AHG series, and Payne gets a little taily off four. Look at this.
With this memorable victory, it wasn't working for the Brit pack. Four and the big guns were out. As Proctor saw the Dane go down. On towards the semis. Oh, that's the next